Matt Lason is the director. Is that the proper term for your position out at the Y?
CEO of the YMCA.
All right. So how long have you been in town now? I mean, you're a fairly fresh face here.
Yes, I arrived January 20th of 2020.
All right. So 2020.
7 months, yeah.
You got here just in time for the screwiest year of.
Yes,
ever.
absolutely. Thrown right into COVID. Absolutely.
So, what drew you to Oskaloosa?
So I've worked for the YMCA all my professional career. I finished when I was in Clarksville, Tennessee with my master's degree and fell in with the YMCA and thought, I really love this. I love what it stands for, and I see myself doing this full time. And was about to get married, and my wife was from Indianapolis, and that's where we ended up. And so I worked for the YMCA of Greater Indianapolis for the last 15 years. At that point, I was looking for my next challenge as I had moved up within Indianapolis and helped with 7 YMCAs that we built there, and looking for what can I do within the YMCA movement as well as what's best for my family. And YMCA Network has a job posting, and I actually happened to be ready in October to start looking for a new job, and this was posted. And I sat down with my wife and said, what do you think of Iowa? And we didn't know much. And so we started doing our research on the schools, and we started doing our research on the town. And we saw that, this is somewhere we want to be. I myself, I grew up in Kansas in a small rural town, smaller than Oskaloosa. So I grew up in a small town. I understand the connected, where your work and your family and your church and your community, are all working well together to help each other out. I wanted to raise my family in something like that.
All right. So was there one or two things that just really caught your eye about Oskaloosa? You went, yep, that's it. We got to go there.
On a personal level, I like to throw axes, and so there was actually a brand new Ironside Axe Club here. So that was a fun thing, but what it was in December, coming out for the interview and being driven around town and seeing the commitment of the community and what was involved, seeing the hospice house was built, seeing the grade school had been built and combined for the K through 5, just seeing all of the development that this city wasn't dying, the city was caring for itself and it was investing back into it. Just if nothing else, the Christmas lights that were up around the square, that just spoke to my wife and I.
All right, so we'll talk professionally. You came into an older Y, and then at the same time you get to deal with the construction that happens to create a new facility. Mm-hmm. Were you like, what am I thinking, or were you like, that was the challenge that you wanted?
No, that was the challenge that was presented to myself. And so coming out here, I came from a facility that was actually 10 years older. So I was in a YMCA that was built in '59, and Oskaloosa's current facility was built in 1969. And I saw the opportunity to live in your current house while you built a new one. And there's a lot of opportunity on what we're working on now within the facility. And I wouldn't have known that we were going to be shut down for almost 2 months during that time, but being able to live and enhance in the current YMCA and offer the programs that we're able to do for the community, all the while working on a brand new YMCA that's coming in late 2021. What an opportunity.
All right, well, let's focus on the current facility because that's what people use day in, day out right now. And since you arrived, yep, we had COVID and the place was closed for a couple of months. Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? I took your picture, or I took you and your staff's picture out there, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, which, by the way, I still have to get to you, so remind me about that. Yep. But anyway, I personally didn't realize that there was that many people that were part of the Y. So a huge responsibility for you to have that many people all of a sudden not busy with Y things. Mm-hmm. How do we navigate all of that? The YMC runs anywhere from 85 to 95 staff currently.
I mean, we're even looking for more right now. But it's hard, just like every business saw during the closure about how do you take care of your staff. And it was difficult, but we did apply for the payroll loan, and we're part of the businesses that received that. And regardless of how you feel about your government, that helped save the YMCA and keep it operating, even with its doors were closed. But the YMCA, didn't shut down everything. Even when our YMCA gym facility was closed, we were still running childcare. And we opened up emergency childcare spots. So for first responders and hospital staff and those in town that needed to find a new place for their children to be. And so we ran childcare for infants all the way through 5th grade. And wonderful story would be a local firefighter, needing an opportunity to take care of his kids now that school was closed. Where could his kids go while he was serving us? And the answer was the YMCA. So we were able to keep a lot of our staff working in childcare during that time.
All right, so yeah, you were closed but not closed.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to answer that. So going forward, you start to get to open up a little bit. The strings are getting looser, and all of a sudden, people are back in there. That's an adjustment too. I mean, it was a huge adjustment that there's nobody there, or very few people are there. Mm-hmm. That has to be a big adjustment again. That 2 months later, people are coming back through the door, and you guys had all of these precautions, all of these new steps that you had to take care of. Mm-hmm. Walk us through that scenario of reopening and bringing all of those precautions to.
Well, we worked with our emergency management agency, and what should we be doing? And of course, when we opened our doors on May 4th, it was even fewer restrictions than we have now. So we followed the governor's requirements, to the T. Worked with our own insurance and our own advisors on what should we be doing to help protect our members. So we started small, and our plan was always to phase in our services to get all the way back, to what you would consider pre-COVID, or what we used to be when it comes to hours, services, availability. And I'm happy to report we're ready to do that after Labor Day. We're ready to get back onto another full schedule, but it was always a slow phase forward. Our big goal was to take one step at a time, protect our members, protect the community, and always move forward rather than going too far and having to move back. The last thing we wanted to do was have to shut our doors or to go backwards in services that we were able to provide. So it's been a slow, steady step forward, whether it has been, adding in, your safety sneeze shields, getting masks for all of our staff, shutting down areas at first as well. We had to invest in new cleaning equipment and new chemicals, but once again, that shows me how the community responds, because that was going to be a struggle with new equipment for cleaning, new equipment, to sanitize not only our YMCA but also our Kids Corner location. And United Way had an opportunity to help provide funding. Bank Iowa was able to provide funding. These sources that you would not have thought of. Once again, community stepping up for Mahaska County and helping each other out.
Well, that's good. You guys have been able to navigate, and you're taking purposeful steps in that process. Mm-hmm. So, Labor Day, we're kind of look at, it'll be similar, to pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. How has your membership and the kids? I mean, mm-hmm. how has all of that reacted to all of those different changes?
Well, the YMCA is for all, but a YMCA also has a good heart for children, and it's been difficult not being able to have just kids be able to come in on their own. And as we continue to move forward, we want to be able to provide safe and be able to help our kids, but also maintain safety and sanitizing. So it's wonderful to see school starting now. And being able to see and watch William Penn open, the Oski School District open, and how are they handling all of the kids in? How are they handling 20 plus kids at a time? How are they handling gymnasiums? So we're leaning a lot on what those who have gone before us are able to do, so that we can kind of keep those safety protocols within the YMCA.
Okay. So let's kind of go from that to maintaining a building. I mean, it's got to be a struggle. I mean, that was, you don't want to put a whole lot of, I don't know, I'm paraphrasing for
Sure.
you, because it's you have a new facility that's getting put up, so how much money do you put into the old facility, and how do you keep that maintained so that it's a usable location until that new one is there?
We'll be there. You know, the lights will be on. It'll be heated and air conditioned. More than anything, a YMCA is best by its staff. So we're taking this opportunity to really invest in our employees, and what can we do for them to provide training and by all means keep them safe. But like a community that responds to each other, a YMCA that has good staff. That's really where we excel, is going to be our employees, that friendly face that when you come in the YMCA, you're going to see somebody that's going to know you and smile and welcome you to the YMCA.
Okay. So eye is on the future, which is the new facility that the school system and the city of Oskaloosa are building, and you guys are going to be in charge of, or you're going to be. So let's talk a little bit about, one, that excitement, because anything new and shiny is always exciting.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about that a little
Sure.
bit. What are we going to expect on this facility?
You've got an 88,444 square foot YMCA coming, and it is a partnership with the city of Oskaloosa and the school district of Oskaloosa as well, and that allows the YMCA to really come forward and run a facility that this community is not only wanting and has made happen, but is also going to benefit so much more than what we're currently able to do. It will have an early learning education center, so we are going to be able to take our licensed child care for infant through 4-year-olds and be able to put that all underneath the YMCA roof. Currently, we're out in University Park at Kids Corner, and then our 3- and 4-year-old preschool program is at the Webster with the school district. So we're going to have one facility for everything, and it's just going to allow us to really use the mission of the YMCA to help better our community and keep those kids safe, all the while educating them as well. Often people don't know that we educate throughout. So it's not just 4-year-old preschool that gets education. Our infants all the way up, there's curriculum provided to help these children grow. Because 0 to 4 is the most development time of a child's life. It's the biggest opportunity for them to grow. And the YMCA wants all of our kids to be successful. So we really stress education throughout our child care. And so we're going to have that side of the facility available. All secure, all with the federal and the state and every type of guideline that we have to follow. We're going to keep those kids safe, but provide it all under one roof. And then for the YMCA side, we are expanding our pools. So we will have 6 lanes for competitive pool, which will allow the high school team to really have some amazing meets and compete for the high school level. And then separate from that, we're also going to have a second pool, which will be your fun family pool and your therapy pool. And what's nice about that is it's going to have a section that'll be 0 entry, and it'll just be fountains. So you've got your kids who can't swim yet. They're going to be able to splash and play and have a wonderful time. And then you're going to have a path 0 entry, kind of like if you walked into a lake or you walked into the ocean. You're going to be able to do that right into the therapy side of the classroom. And so you're going to have warmer water, which is great for arthritis prevention, and it's great on the muscles. That's where we're going to teach all of our water aerobics classes. It too has a lap lane available in the warmer side, but that really allows us to provide some, appropriate temperature water versus your competitive pool. And anybody who swims laps will tell you they like it colder. And we are definitely going to be able to provide both to the community.
I was going to say, pool is in high demand at the current Y, so
yes,
having that extra space is definitely going to be a benefit for the public.
Absolutely. And the extra space doesn't extend just to the pool. We're going to have 2 racquetball courts available. We're going to have a gymnasium that will have not only a full-sized court, but also 2 cross courts on it as well with a drop-down curtain. So we'll be able to run 2 basketball games at the same time. And this being part of the community, we made sure that there is seating capacity in both the gymnasium and the pool, the competitive pool. So you're going to have bleachers in both to be able to watch your competitions. And then as little bonuses of being who we are and where we are, Musco lighting, being in town. You can't build something this nice without being blessed with lighting as well. So you're going to see some lighting in the effects that they can bring in the gymnasium and the pool as well. From their contribution, and then the fitness center side as well. On the second floor, we're going to have a full wellness facility. We're expanding our cardio line. We're going to have the latest and greatest cardio with all the bells and whistles. Easy to use machines that'll be very, very functional for all demographics, even somebody who doesn't know how to exercise. Come in, sit down, you're going to be able to jump right on those. An expanded free weight area, so for all the people that are looking to do their Olympic plates or their cross training or any type of those activities, we're going to have that available, along with bigger aerobics rooms, a separate spin studio, and so much more space just to allow us to offer more programming that we're limited to right now at the current facility. Of course, it will also provide 24-hour access. We know that not everybody works a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So being able to work your second or third shift, and your morning is 3 a.m. and being able to come into the YMCA and still get your workout in. We want this community, regardless of when they work, to be able to have a fitness opportunity, and we're going to be able to provide that for them.
All right. So all of this awesome goodness is coming. I mean, it was a tax. It was a 1 cent sales tax on the city's end. Mm-hmm. It's some funding from the school district. Mm-hmm. And I do believe that there's also a private fundraiser that's also taking place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
we are.
Can we talk a little bit about that and meeting that goal? What's the ultimate dollar amount that we're looking to reach?
The ultimate dollar amount total we would like to fundraise would be $14.5 million.
Okay.
And there is, in that total, would be the opportunity to create a $2 million endowment to help the Y operate further on down the line. Not only are we looking forward to having all these new people join the YMCA, but future on the line, everything degrades, everything breaks. And we want to make sure that 20 years from now, if there's a roof leak or if an air conditioner needs to be replaced or the cardio machines, the entire ones have to go, the YMCA is in a spot to be able to financially keep investing back into this facility decade after decade. So, a $2 million endowment is part of that. We are not finished fundraising, so we are not at $14.5 million. Our capital campaign group is out, and we are still fundraising. Once again, I can't keep talking more and more about the community, but one of the things that impressed me about this campaign was when it comes to the community side and where we're fundraising right now, and we're trying to encourage everybody to give us that dollar because we do want to put everybody's name on the wall. So every contribution that comes in from the community has the opportunity to put their name that will be on a wall, a legacy wall of the YMCA. You'll be able to walk into this new facility, and there on the wall will be my name, will be your name, will be everybody who's contributed. So we're still looking for people to do that. And it starts at $1. So when somebody says, I don't have $1 million, that's not the point. If we come together, we'll get there. But a blessing is the George Daly Family Trust. And so what the community gets to know is that for every one of those dollars that they give, the Daily Trust is matching it with 2 of their own. So when somebody says, I gave $1 to the YMCA, it's not actually $1. It actually becomes 3. Or if their $1,000 gift that they're going to spread out over a couple years, it becomes $3,000. And that is how we get to $14.5 million. So we are still accepting donations. We need people to contribute. And now's the time. We are trying to finish this up in 2020. And we want to be able to tell the community, yes, your name is on the wall. You were part of that. Whether it's been $1,000 or it's a kid giving us $1, they're part of that. Because in this together, we're going to make this building happen.
Interesting. So, if they're interested in learning more about that, do they just come see you at the Y? Or
absolutely. Yeah, you can come see me at the YMCA. Our website is mahaskaymca.org. And all of those information, we have flyers available, we have information on how it works. We can take money in almost any format. And so it's just wonderful to open the mail and see somebody else in the community has said, you know what, put me down, I want to be a part of this. Or I want my kids' names on the wall to be part of that legacy. So now is the time to do that, and so we're still outreaching to the community. And if I need to come to a group, or if I need to come to a church or a social club or an office, that's a joy. I love talking about the YMCA because I understand how it benefits the community, and watching people of all ages, increase their healthy living, being able to provide social opportunities, or just for a senior to come in, have a cup of coffee, and sit down and know that they're a part of something.
Well, somebody that might be on the fence might also, well, what good does the Y, or what purpose does it really serve in our community? Mm-hmm. Well, you've seen lots of examples of bright, shining moments. Can you share one of those personal memories that maybe makes it, this is why we have a Y?
Mm-hmm. One of the things with the YMCA is the longer you stay, the longer you get to see the impact of what happens. And one example would be and this would be from my time in Indianapolis in the 15 years, but early on started with a young man that was 15, 16, and in the Y every day because it was the place to be. He was in the YMCA on his own youth membership. But not that he could afford it. There were people donating yearly to the annual campaign, providing scholarships for him. So he was there on a scholarship, and wasn't necessarily a gentleman of understand. He had a rough life, and so he had struggles. Following the rules, working on etiquette, as a lot of young men do. But also not a home life that was really reinforcing any type of morals or values, and we had some tough conversations, but we also gave him a place to be and gave him a second opportunity and worked with this young man. And he later on became somebody that went back after finishing high school and was the first one in his family to get any type of degree, and got his first associate's degree. And I lost track of him, and then all of a sudden he came back because he had moved on to college. He actually came back to Indianapolis to start his job, and he was actually working for a university. And he was impacting other kids trying to get in the urban area, trying to get their college education, and not knowing how to do that, and helping them find financial. And then he got his own son, and he started coaching and volunteering for the YMCA. And to see this 24, 25-year-old man who was working and investing back, coaching Little League basketball, all the while I'm thinking of the 16, 17-year-old who I was having to work with and discipline and ask. But it's just an example of not giving up on somebody. We're not all blessed with a home life or a financial structure at a young age, but it doesn't mean that there aren't people in the community caring for them. And I can see that here at our YMCA. And that's always something special when you're able to see down the road that impact of, I knew you when, and now I can see what you accomplished today.
All right. Well, have we missed anything, Matt?
I mean, I can go on and on about the why, but I don't really have anything else. Just knowing that before this year's over, now's the time to join us and making this YMCA all it can be. And we look forward to seeing people not only help us out with the capital campaign, but also joining us in the YMCA. And let's work together to make this community better.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you very much, Ken.